Let's just see the differences now between h3 and rook e1, because h3, bishop h5, white against plays rook e1. So we do our favorite move, long castle, and now b3. We play queen f6, and difference is the following, that if pawn was on h2 and bishop on g4, after bishop b4, knight e5, white didn't have g4 move, and if white plays h3 in that position, we are able to take on f3. So right now, white has g4 move, which makes sense. And I would like to mention that knight a3 can seem a challenging one, but we have an excellent resource here, playing rook d3. And because bishop d3 loses immediately due to knight f3, takes and bishop f3, white has to play rook e3 here. But we can simply take on f3, takes again, and just spoil white pawn structure on the king side and take on b3, playing e5 with a slightly better endgame for black, because white has many weaknesses. So knight a3 is not a great move, white has to play g4, and now we should take on f3, because otherwise if we play bishop g6, our piece is hanging. Knight e5, queen e5, and bishop b7. So knight f3, queen f3, takes, and playing bishop g6. Let's take a look at this position. What has happened? White promoted pawns on the king side, but I would call it more weakness than something beneficial for white. So how to play here? White has two options, knight a3 and b takes c4. After b takes c4, how would you play? For example, if black takes knight c4, white can play d4, and after playing something like knight d2, bishop f4, playing rook b1, or trying to promote a pawn, it can be some kind of unpleasant on the queen side. So we should try to lock these pieces here. And excellent move, bishop d3 is coming right now. We are gonna win the pawn back, but in couple of moves. So first we'll lock the bishop, and later we'll think about winning back the c pawn. White would have several moves. c5 is not working because knight d5, and our next move is gonna be 6, simply capturing on c5. Also, our knight now is closer to f4 square. If white plays knight a3, we should play e6, and after bishop b4, it's very important maneuver. We just exchange our bishop for a knight, and we'll leave the bad bishop again to white. So after knight c4, black is just much better right now. So here it comes that taking on c4 is not great options for white, so white has to play knight a3. We play 6 and knight c4 here, because after b takes c4, you already know that we would have taken on a3 first. And knight c4, takes, our favorite move, bishop d3, and after some bishop b2, we play bishop c5. This move shows how beautiful chess is. We're a pawn down in endgame, and usually we know if we have some material less in the middle game, especially pawn for initiative, it can be enough. But in endgame, it sometimes makes not much sense. But here after takes, king g2, rook d8, our pieces are just extremely strong, and all white pieces are super passive. White will never be able to make some move with this bishop, even after f4, bishop h3, because d2 will be hanging. Here we just simply improve, bring our king to c6, play b6, maybe some g6, and just wait, and if white would try to show him activity, white will have problems. Probably it's gonna be some kind of positional draws. So that's the small difference between h3 and rook e1, but anyway, black has enough resources to get a good position. And let's go back now and investigate queen e2 here.